Yo, what's happening, QCUMBER squad, and welcome back to the Fable sphere. 3 things before we get started. Number 1, follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. The handle is over here. If you'd like to follow me, go ahead. If you don't want to follow me, that's also fine. Thing number 2, please comment down below for any reactions that you want me to do. Like I said in all my previous videos now, that I am doing that over the next couple of weeks. I'm sifting through the comment section and I'm going to bring your reactions to you relatively quickly now, because that's all I'm focusing on is requests in my comment section. Thing number 3 is I will be putting a watermark on all videos moving forward. As I have said in my previous videos, I'm sure you're tired of hearing me saying that. I don't want to put a watermark on this, but I have to put a watermark on this or else it does get blocked, specifically from the video perspective. The audio is never ever a problem. So please bear with me. I know 1 or 2 of you have said that that's pretty irritating. The link is in the description. I implore you to go and watch this for yourself on 21 Pilot's channel. But I have to do that in order to react to it and to bring the reaction to you. Anyway, 21 Pilots, the outside, live from Mexico. I've got a couple of 21 Pilots coming your way. So don't worry about that, but let's rock and roll. This is pretty new. They just put this up in Mexico. Can't wait until the 22nd of June. I'm sure you guys know why. And let's rock and roll. Let's go. Hey, Tyler, the outside. Look at that COVID spreader event right there, man. Look at that COVID spreader event right there. I can see the Omicron. I can see it. I can see the Omicron coursing through the crowds. I'm joking. I'm just joking. Let's go. I see masks though. Or phones rather. Hey.
Pretty sure I've seen this one before. Got a long drive and take my eyes so I don't fall asleep again.
I love the fact that he's never ever lost that, because Tyler also with these live performances, even if you go all the way back to Lane Boy, right? This is such a Tyler thing. So like now he's just doing it calmer. It kind of also plays into the sanity, into his mental state at the moment, essentially, where it's not as aggressive, but it's still his signature thing, right? It's those little quirks and those little jittery things that he does, right? But even if you look at Lane Boy, like he does this all the time, essentially, it's his thing. I love it. I love the fact that he still has that body language. That coat is pretty sick too. Let's go.
So I don't fall asleep again. Sing it out, up and down, heads are moving up and down. You got it. Everybody stand in line, one by one, take a hit, join the club. Even try to take my vibes. But am I on the outside?
Like this album was like, you know, Scaled and Icy was more like the more chilled out version. I've reacted to the entire album. I've reacted to every one of these songs. You can just go to my 21, if you're new to the channel, go to my 21 Pilots playlist and you'll see there's about 150 21 Pilots reactions there. So I like this album because it's very light. It's lighthearted. It's when you're referring to 21 Pilots, you can never ever say that things are as lighthearted. I'm saying, let's put it this way, the sound of it is more lighthearted in this particular album. Actually, even the lyrics is a little bit more lighthearted. I personally prefer the older stuff. I personally prefer Trench. My favorite album is No Fun Intended, Blurry Face. All of those for me, I kind of felt that the darker 21 Pilots back then was, I think, more relevant to a point in time in my life, or to a point in time in anybody's life, that speaks the most. I really like this album. I have this album on my playlist. I really only play 1 or 2 songs on repeat, and the other ones are background music for me. Genuinely, like they're nice to listen to, but it doesn't get me thinking too much on this particular album. This song itself, it's okay. I like this song. It's not my favorite. I mean, I like everything they do, but it's most certainly not up there. I can give you, Jesus, I can give you 100 songs that are my favorites. Like, you know what I mean? Of 21 Pilots. But this particular song, I'd take Redecorate. I would take We Come For You. What is it called? No Chances. No Chances, Redecorate. I would take Saturday. I'll take those songs over this particular one. My personal opinion.
Long drive, I'll take my eyes so I don't fall asleep again.
Hey.
Sing it out! Up and down, they're nodding. Heads are moving up and down. You got it. Everybody stand in line, one by one. Take a hit, join the club. Then you try to take my vibes.
Hey, Judge.
I am a megalodon, feeling like a bomb, feeling like a beast underneath, living, hanging on. Meteoric vibes will bring a story time. Now that meteor is coming. I am Megatron, cards I'm stepping on, and the little cards got together, started making signs. Switch it up on me, I feel efficiency. All fumes, I am running. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
I'm home. I love it.
Put your hands up. Everybody up and down. And down. And don't move it up and down.
I like the fact that it's a more light-hearted Tyler, more light-hearted 21 Pilots. I just think because of the phase, I think this is one of the phases that they needed to naturally move into, because it was like the albums were dark. A lot of what they were doing was dark, but that was also representative of, you know, a period of time in their own lives, a period of time in their own mental psyche, in their own mental. Why am I saying mentical? Something's wrong with me. In their own mental, sort of like that period of time was very indicative of what they were going through, which is like great. So this one's a bit more lighthearted, you know, taking off the ski masks. The less anxiety. I can't say that there isn't anxiety, but it kind of feels like a less anxious, a more mature, a more sort of evolved Tyler as like a human being, essentially, also with his family and his kids and his wife being pregnant and that kind of thing. He's moved into a different phase of his life. So it's a bit more lighthearted, a bit more uplifting. And I think Tyler's the kind of emotional artist that literally like translates that into his art. I think he translates his emotion and how he's feeling directly into his art. You know what I mean? I don't think he's the kind of artist that can put aside you know, his baggage and just be like, oh well, let's just make a fun album even though I'm like completely shattered and falling to pieces. I think his art comes out of his current emotion, like the emotion that he's feeling at the time. And I think this is why we find that this album is a lot more lighthearted. That's my personal perspective.
Everybody stand in line, one by one, take a hit. To try to take my vibe. Or am I outside? If you know it, would you sing it while I dance?
Hey, go. Hey, swag. I love Tyler's dance moves. It's like quintessentially uniquely him.
Five and yeah.
breathed on me. He just gave me COVID. That's okay. I don't mind getting it from him. Surprise man. Awesome. I mean, I must be honest. Like, it's not the same energy that I'm used to from 21 Pilots live performances. I felt this is a lot more subdued, as it's meant to be. You know, specifically with this particular album launch. But for me, The Outside, it's a cool, jivey, bouncy song. It's got a very different vibe to it. But for me, it's something that will play in the background. It's not something that, you know, that I'll put it in my ears and put it on repeat the entire time. And I think as it, like, how it translates into an outdoor event, I'd like it translate nicely in terms of, like, it's cool. It's a nice little bobbing song, essentially. But this particular song doesn't have the energy I'm looking for in a live performance. My personal opinion. You guys let me know what you think down below. I love you all, man. Please stay safe. Please stay healthy. Catch you on the next one. Peace.